are going through. So it's great to connect through yoga and this wonderful technology that we have. So I hope you all are doing well and that you're staying healthy. And I know that there are a lot of things that are competing for your attention right now. So I'm really happy to see that you're here and you're carving out some time to take care of yourself so that you can better serve when we're finished. So we're going to just do like a really short practice today that I hope will ground you into that part of us, that part of the universe that never changes, and that would also lift your energy and your spirits. Okay? So go ahead and take a moment and sit on whatever support that you have. If you have 2 blankets, you can use that, or you can use a block or a sturdy book. Just something that kind of gives you a little bit of lift off the floor so you can take the lower spine in and extend and lift up through your spine. Okay? Right. So once you're seated, go ahead and cross your legs right at the center of your shin bones. Take your hands and bring them onto the front of your knees. And we're going to use our arms here to help us get more lift through our spine. So take your hands and physically press them into your knees and draw the top of your arms back into your shoulders. And notice how that helps to lift your chest and to bring your upper back muscles firm into your back. Go ahead and keep those actions as you bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra right at the base of your sternum. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze as we just take a few moments to settle into our breath, to settle into ourselves. So in the beginning, without trying to change or shape your breath in any way, take a moment and just feel yourself breathing. Begin to notice the qualities of your breath, if it's moving fast or slow, if it's flowing deep or shallow, or if it's going smooth or if it's a little rough. And not assigning any good or bad to any of the qualities. Just know what is. And then on your next exhalation, take a fuller breath out. And on your next inhalation, take a deeper breath in. Repeat that without strain, without over effort. Take a few smooth, deep, continuous breaths. And on your next exhalation, go ahead and bow your head. Release your hands. Open your eyes and lift your gaze. I'm going to do a simple seated twist. So go ahead and take your right hand, which I'll be mirroring you. Take your right hand, bring it onto your support behind you, and use your arm to press down to lift your spine up. Take your other hand and extend the arm up and get longer through your spine. So you want to be long and evenly elongated on both sides of your spine. And turn your torso to the right. Bring your front hand onto your outer thigh. And then use the front hand to pull your thigh toward you so you get more turn, more rotation through the spine. Roll your outer shoulders onto your back. And take a breath. And then on your next exhalation, come back to center. Let's do that on the other side. Take your left hand behind you. Press down into your support and lift your spine. Extend your opposite arm up. Get long on both sides of your waist and then turn your torso to the left. Bring your hand onto the outer thigh and then use your hand here by pulling the thigh in to help you spread the muscles on the back of your body away from the spine. Take one more breath. And then exhale, come back to center. Let's go ahead and come to standing. Clear your mat of any of your props that you may have. And stand in the center of your mat. You can stand with your feet hip on width apart or bring the outer edges of your feet parallel. Make your legs nice and strong. So you stay facing forward. And I just want to show something. So I want you to take your tops of your thighs and bring them back and over your ankles. And then root down into your heels and then lift your torso up. So keep those actions and roll your outer shoulders onto your back and then stretch from your shoulders into your fingertips into Tadasana, mountain pose. On your next inhalation, extend your arms out in front and interlace your fingers deep into the webbing. Press your palms forward toward the camera or toward your screen. And then keep your thighs back the way I showed. And on your next inhalation, extend your arms up overhead. And use your arms to lift your waistline up, to lift your side chest up. Press your palms up toward the ceiling. Take a breath. And then exhale, lower your arms. Turn your palms back in toward you. And then take your fingers and change out the interlace of the hands. So bring your opposite pinky finger to the bottom of your hand hole. And then press your palms forward again. Again, bring the tops of your thighs back over your ankles if they've moved forward. Keep them there. As you press into your heels, inhale and extend your arms up overhead. Lift up through your side ribs. Press your palms up toward the ceiling. Take a breath. And then exhale, lower your arms. Turn your palms back in and release your hands. So I'm going to turn to the back to show you something. Or actually, I just go to the side. I think it'll work. I want you to take your hands again and interlace them behind your back. Take the tops of your thighs back and over your ankles. Lift your side ribs up. Roll your outer shoulders onto your back. And you can keep your hands here if this is enough stretch through your shoulders and your chest. But if you feel like you can do a little bit more, you can go ahead and lift your hands away from your back. You can start to straighten the arms and extend your arms down and away from your shoulders as you lift your chest up toward your head. Take another breath. And then release. Bring your hands back to your back and alongside you. The next pose is going to be Utkatasana, chair pose. So extend your arms out in front. Actually, first, go ahead and join the inner edges of your feet. Bring the tops of your thighs back again. And extend your arms out in front and then overhead. Just like we did before, extend. Lift your arms to extend your torso up. Keep your torso lifted as you bend your knees and sit your hips down and back. Keep your chest lifted. Take one more breath. Press into your heels. And then inhale, come up. And then exhale, your arms down. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to do it from the side. Again, bring the tops of your thighs back, press down into your feet, your heels, extend your arms up, lift your arms all the way up overhead, and extend your spine up toward the ceiling. Keep your spine lifted as you bend your knees. Keep the weight to the heels of your feet. As you stretch the top of your buttocks down toward the floor and lift your torso up. Take one more breath, bend your knees more, and press into your feet. And inhale, come up, and extend your arms down. Okay, so I'm going to turn my back to show you something we're going to do with our arms. So in this next pose, actually, we're going to do downward facing dog next. So let's go ahead, and if you have a wall, set up at the wall. If you don't have the wall, no worries, you don't have to use the wall. But if you do have the wall, I want you to take your index finger and your thumbs against the wall, like so. Hope you can see. And if not, then just have your hands going forward and press down into your finger pads. Okay? So come onto your hands and knees. Place your hands either at the wall or at your sturdy surface, or have your hands onto the floor, fingertips going forward. Have your hands out in front of your shoulders and be on your knees with your knees underneath your hips. And on your next inhalation, press into your hands, make your arms nice and strong and sturdy, and lift your hips up. Now keep your arms straight and extend your spine up toward the ceiling by lifting your hips. Take your chest in toward your legs, and keep your hips lifted. You can stay high into the balls of your feet as you start to straighten your legs by lifting your kneecaps up. Relax your head so your ears are alongside your arms. Take another breath. And then bend your knees. And come back down. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Okay? Take a breath and we'll do that one again. Okay? So again, either using the wall or having your hands. So this time I won't use the wall in case you don't have a sturdy surface. But if you do, go ahead and take the index of your inside of your index finger and your thumb to the wall. Otherwise, place your hands shoulder width apart. Press down into your finger pads. Have your hands again out in front of your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Press into your arms, press into your hands, and make your arms nice and straight. Keep your arms straight as you lift your hips or lift your knees and take your chest in toward your legs. Extend your torso by lifting your hips up toward the ceiling. And come onto the balls of your feet and lift your hips even more by lifting your heels. Keep your heels lifted and start to straighten the legs by lifting your kneecaps up. Relax your ears and your head alongside your arms. Take one more breath. And then bend your knees and come down. Go ahead and walk your hands back in toward your body and come back up to standing. All right. So stand in mountain pose and watch this. So the next pose, we're going to take our arms out to the side. You're going to bring your hands behind your back. And notice how I have my hands together, but my fingertips down toward the floor. And then from here, I turn my fingertips in toward my body. From here, I turn my fingertips up toward the ceiling. And then I slide my hands up my back. Paschimottanasana. So hands behind your back in prayer pose. So if this is not for your pose today, you can hold onto your wrist. Or you can take your hands and hold onto your elbows. Okay? So you find the arm position that works best for you today. All right? Let's go ahead and bring your hands into position, the one that works best for you. And again, lift your torso, roll your outer shoulders back, and lift your chest. Now go ahead and step your feet wide, about 3.5 feet wide. And then go ahead and turn your left leg in a lot. Turn your right leg out to 90. Now press into your back heel and continue to turn your back leg so that you spread the back of your thigh from the inside out, so much so that you bring your back hip forward. Now lift your chest more. Keep lifting your chest by bringing the tops of your arms back into your shoulders. You can even start to look up toward the ceiling if that feels comfortable on your neck. Keep the lift in your chest as you bring your head back forward and then hinge from your hips. Take the tops of your thighs back and bring your torso down parallel to the floor. Take a breath. Press down into your feet. Inhale, come up. Turn your feet back to center. And let's do that to the other side. So go ahead and turn your right leg in a lot. Turn your left leg out to 90. Spread the back of your back thigh again from the inside out so much that your outer back hip comes forward. Now press into your feet and lift your chest. Keep lifting your chest by rolling your outer shoulders back. You can look up toward the ceiling. Keep your chest lifted as you look back forward and then hinge from your hips and extend your torso out and over your front leg. Just come down to parallel and take a breath. Press into your feet and then inhale, come up. Go ahead and turn your feet back to parallel. Step your feet back together. And then go ahead and release your arms slowly. Yeah. So now you should feel nice and open and lifted through your chest. Let's do that one more time. So if you were holding on to your elbows or your wrist, go ahead and switch out the position. So bring the opposite forearm in closest to your body if you hold it on that way. Otherwise, go ahead and let's take Paschimottanasana. Again, just bring the palms of your hands together, fingertips in, toward your body and then fingertips up toward the ceiling. So pick the hand hold that works or arm position that's best for you today. Go ahead and join the inner edges of your feet. Press down into your heels, lift your torso, roll your outer shoulders back. Keep the lift in your chest as you step your feet wide again. One more time, Padvottanasana. So go ahead and turn your left leg in a lot. Turn your right leg out to 90. Spread the back of your back thigh from the inside to the out. And then lift your chest by pressing into your feet, rolling your outer shoulders back. You can look up toward the ceiling if it's comfortable in your neck. Keep your chest lifted as you look forward again. And then hinge from your hips. Take the tops of your thighs back and away from your head as you bring your torso forward. Just come down to parallel today. Take one more breath. And then press into your feet. Inhale, come up. And turn back forward. Let's do that again on the other side. Go ahead and turn your right leg in a lot. Turn your left leg out to 90. Spread the back of your back thigh a lot so that your hip comes forward. Then press into both feet. Lift your chest. Roll your outer shoulders back. You can look up toward the ceiling if that feels good on your neck. Keep your chest lifted. And as you press into your feet, exhale and come forward. Only come down halfway. Keep bringing your outer back hip forward. And then press into both feet. And inhale, come up. Come back to center. Step your feet together. Slowly release your arms. And bring your arms back alongside you. All right. So our next pose is Vyamnasana, which is a variation on Warrior One. Okay? So go ahead and step your feet wide again. Bring your hands onto your hips. And again, turn your left leg in. Not quite as much this time. And then go ahead and turn your right leg out. Spread the back of your back thigh from the inside to the outside. And turn your back hip forward. Press into both feet. Lift your torso up. Roll your outer shoulders back. And really ground into your back leg as you bend your front knee as deeply as you can. And then take your arms and stretch them from the center of your chest out into your fingertips. Lift the back leg up by pressing into the back heel. Take one more breath. Straighten your front leg. Bring your hands back to your hips and turn your feet back to parallel. Let's do that on the second side. Turn your right leg in. Turn your left leg out to 90. Press into the back heel, which is your right heel. Keep that. Lift your chest, roll your outer shoulders onto your back, and then bend deeply into your front leg. Now press into the back heel more to straighten the leg, and then stretch from the center of your chest out through your fingertips. Take a breath. And then release. Straighten the leg, bring your hands to your hips, and turn your feet back to parallel. Go ahead and step your feet together. So we'll do that again. And if that was enough challenge for you, then go ahead and stay there. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and take our arms overhead like we did at the beginning of class. All right? So bring your hands onto your hips again. Step your feet wide. And perhaps go ahead and challenge yourself. I'm going to do that and make my feet a little bit wider. So see if you can do that as well. And then turn your left leg in a lot. Turn your right leg out to 90. Spread from the back of your thigh from the inside to the outside. Now straighten the back leg by pressing the heel into the floor. Lift your side ribs, your side chest, roll your outer shoulders back, and press into the back heel again, and then bend deep into the front leg. So you can come a little bit deeper by sitting your hips down. Extend your arms from the center of your chest out through your fingertips. And you can stay here, or you can go ahead and rotate your arms so your palms face up toward the ceiling, and then inhale your arms up toward the ceiling. Use your arms to lift your torso up while you stay grounded in your legs. Take one more breath. And then inhale, straighten the legs, bring your hands back to your hips. And then last time, come back to center. And then last time. Go ahead, turn your right leg in a lot. Turn your left leg out to 90. Spread the back leg again from the inside out. And roll your outer back hip forward. Press strongly into the back heel, so much so that you straighten the leg even more. Keep it that way as you bend your front knee this time. Sit your hips down. Keep your chest lifted or lifted if it's not. And then stretch from the center of your chest out through your fingertips. You can stay here in Vinyasana if you like, or you can rotate your arms so that your palms face up, and then use your arms as you stretch your arms overhead to extend your spine even more. Sit your hips down, take a breath, and then straighten your leg, bring your hands to your hips, and turn your feet parallel. And go ahead and step your feet together. Great. Let's go ahead and take downward facing dog one more time. So if you have the wall, go ahead and use it, or if you have a sturdy surface like a couch or a low dresser or something that you can press your hands into safely, do that. Otherwise, just bring your palms down to the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and take my hand to the wall again. So I want you to press down into your arms, or into your hands, into your arms, and make your arms nice and straight. Have your hands out in front of your shoulders. With your knees bent, go ahead and lift your knees up. Stretch your torso by lifting your hips up. Take your chest in toward your legs. Keep your hips lifted, and even come onto the balls of your feet and lift your hips more. Now keep your heels lifted as you start to straighten the legs by lifting your kneecaps up toward the ceiling. Take a couple of breaths here. Press down into your hands, lift your hips. Move the tops of your thighs back. And then bend your knees. And come down. Okay. So our next pose is going to be Vajrasana, which is like thunderbolt pose, the seated position. So I'm going to do it sideways so that you can see. So I bring my feet together, my inner knees together, my thigh bones are parallel to one another, and I just sit back onto the heels of my feet. So when you do this, if this is uncomfortable in your knees or your ankles, if you have a block or a stack of books beside you, you can go ahead and bring that, separate your feet, and sit back onto the block. Or you can take your blanket, if you have that, and bring it into the base, into the bend of your knees, and sit back that way. Okay? Otherwise, just bring the inner edges of your legs together, inner edges of your feet together, sit back onto your heels, press down into the floor, and lift your chest. Roll your outer shoulders back. Just take a breath here, or two. I think during this time we all need to just catch our breath. Take a couple more. And then go ahead and bring your hands out in front. Extend one leg back. Bring your toes to the floor, press to your heel, and then switch out. Okay. So the next pose we're going to do is Tadasana, which is four-footed pose. A lot of you may recognize it by the name of bridge pose. It's a variation on that. So go ahead and lie on your back. If you need to watch for a moment, you can, or you can go ahead and join me. But I'm going to lie on my back with my feet parallel, just like in mountain pose. And I bring my ankles right underneath my knees. And just like we've been doing all practice, I roll my outer shoulders down onto the floor, so back. And notice that my arms are straight. And then from here, if you're doing it with me, I want you to go ahead and press down into your upper arms and lift your chest. And then keep all those actions as I lift my hips. If you're doing it with me, go ahead and lower your hips down. If you were watching, go ahead and join me this time. Okay? So lie on your back if you're not already. Bend your knees. And bring your ankles right underneath your knees. And have your feet and your knees hip-bone width apart. With your palms down into the floor alongside your hips. Go ahead and roll your outer shoulders onto your back, so down toward the floor. And notice how that lifts your chest. Keep your chest lifted, so really work your arms. Press your upper arms, your forearms, your hands down into the floor. Press your feet into the floor and lift your hips up. Stretch from your hips out through the front of your thighs into your knees. Lift your hips more. Take a couple of breaths. And then release. Lower your hips down. Let's do that one more time. So make sure your feet are still parallel to one another. Roll your outer shoulders down toward the floor. Press into your upper arms. Press into your hands. Press into your feet. Take the top of your buttocks toward your knees and lift your hips high. Stretch the front of your thighs out into your knees. Take one more breath. And then lower your hips. And then go ahead and roll to your right side and come up. So this is another place where the wall or your sturdy surface is going to come into handy. You're going to do legs up the wall, which is a sweet pose. It's an excellent pose to do, especially during these stressful times. It's very restorative. So I want you to notice how I sit close to the wall. You sit close to your sturdy surface. And then I come up and I take my hips up the wall. So I bring both hands to the floor. Come down onto one elbow. Take the opposite leg up the wall. Come down onto my back and bring both legs up the wall. And then from here, I have my legs hip-bone width apart, just like a mountain pose. And I have my feet parallel. Press into my upper arms to lift my chest. And then I just relax my arms alongside out to the side of my body. So go ahead and join me if you can. So sit close to your sturdy surface if you haven't already. Bring both hands to the front of your body. And take your hips up the wall. Bring one elbow down onto the floor and take your opposite leg up the wall. Come all the way onto your back and then swing your other leg up the wall. Roll your outer shoulders down onto the floor. Lift your chest. And just take a few moments here and just breathe. Just settle into your breath. Soften your palms if you haven't already. Soften your legs. Let's stay here a few more rounds of breath. And at the end of your next exhalation, go ahead and bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet together. Or you can cross at the center of your shin bones like we started class and have your feet supported by the wall. Just take a moment here. And then go ahead and bring your feet to the wall and just kind of push yourself or slide your way, walk your way from the wall. We're going to take Savasana from here. So you want to slide away from the wall until you can straighten your legs. But move away so that your feet are not touching the wall. And let your legs start at hip bone width apart, and then just allow the legs to splay apart. Even here, gently lift your chest by bringing your outer shoulders back and down. And then relax your head, relax your arms. Release your eyes back and away from your eyelids. Soften your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. And relax your tongue back and away from the front of your mouth. Keep your chest lifted as you just release the weight of your body down and into the floor. Deepen your breath. And bring movement back into your body by wiggling your toes and your fingers. And then go ahead and bend one knee and bring your foot to the floor. And then bring the opposite knee and bring your feet together. And then go ahead and roll to your right side. Take a moment there. Use your right arm to support your head. And then press down into both hands and come back up to seated. Bring your hands together at the base of your sternum. Lift your chest. From the light in my heart to the light in yours, I bow. Namaste.